The Nerdy 30s, the podcast that proves you don't have to give up what you love at any certain age.
Not in that show because I've never seen it. I actually watched clips of it. Twitter was blowing up on my phone. I'm going to let you know that right now. Where it was like, are you the bunny, the peacock or something? I'm like, what are you talking about? So I actually went online. I watched some of the video. Very funny. Really good show. I'd love to be a judge on it. That's what I want to. If the season 2 comes out, I want to be a judge on it because I think it's cool and weird all at the same time.
That, my friends, is the voice of a liar. You, Joey Fatone, are a liar. Wouldn't you agree, man?
That's pretty harsh. I wasn't expecting it to be that confrontational.
Yeah, well, I'm mad at him because he's pretending it's not him, but it's him. So today on the Nerdy 30s, we are going to be talking about the new show. Well, it's technically not a new show. It actually started in South Korea, and it was called... it's a little bit different than what they call it here.
King of Mask Singer.
Yeah, it was called the King of Mask Singer. And it actually got popular around here through a viral video clip of Ryan Reynolds being unmasked. So apparently some guys saw it around here that are like producers or whatever and was like, let's do this. I think it might be the same people that do Dancing with the Stars. I'm not sure because
no, it's a different network.
There's a lot of crossover for who's on the show. Or maybe they're just looking for the same kind of people. I don't know.
I think there's a certain level of celebrity that's free to do that sort of thing.
Right.
So.
But this show is called The Masked Singer, and it's like a karaoke whodunit without murder. Would it be really cool if it did have murder in it? Then my mom would watch it. But it's a bunch of these celebrities that come out on stage dressed as like mascots. And you don't know who they are, and you have to try and guess who they are. A few of them, it's just plain old obvious. Wouldn't you agree, Mitch?
Yeah, well, yeah.
Well, the obvious
yes and
to
no.
Me,
well, who knows? Because they may end up being somebody else.
You know what? That's true. That's true because the poodle, I had no idea, and I was completely wrong. Like, I thought the poodle was somebody else. I would never have guessed that poodle was Margaret Cho. But
wow,
the whole...
spoilers.
This is a spoiler podcast, people know. But the thing is just like, when you're watching this show, they have these little clips of the performers beforehand giving you a bunch of clues as to who they are. Then they'll come out, perform a song, and then you have to try and guess who it is based on the clues and what song they perform and like their attire that they're wearing. And I thought that this would be like a perfect little thing to go through on our podcast, kind of try and figure out who these masked celebrities are. So,
well, it's a little bit of a change of pace because it's not
murder.
It's a contemporary show, and it's
not
about murder. And
it's a whodunit without murder. Yeah. What? And Sarah Michelle Gellar's not in it. At least we don't think she is.
I feel like this show could have done a lot better had it happened before the internet.
I think that's true because you can like cross-reference every little clue that's in those. What would you call them? Videos?
Yeah, I guess
the videos that they play before they go. The packages that they play before their performances. But seriously, you can just go online and like do a bunch of research and figure out who you did, who it is, and that, which is exactly what we did.
I'm just very nervous whenever I Google anything related to the show.
Yeah.
Because it feels like everybody's it feels like there's somewhat of a consensus on the internet about who people think they are and stuff like that. It's a bit of a crowdsourcing of knowledge, and everybody kind of gets together and figures it out. It's interesting to see.
Yeah, I'm pretty into it. I mean, I'm not a big fan of like mascots. They tend to freak me out. But they're far enough distance from me that I'm not going to be scared. So, okay, yeah.
Well, It should be said before we delve into the show any deeper that we only really started watching this because it was on. We were going through Hulu, and
no sponsor.
I was #no sponsor. I was not excited about the show going into it.
Oh, I was excited.
I thought this looks like the most ridiculous, stupid thing I've ever seen, and I have so much fatigue from. They call them singing competitions. They're really karaoke shows.
Mm-hmm. The Voice.
Yeah, the
American
Voice,
Idol. It's like American Idol was going to be gone. Now it's back again.
X Factor, to a lesser degree, America's Got Talent.
I think it's just lesser degree because you don't watch it.
Yeah. Well, there's also other things other than singing.
That's
on
true.
It,
they do like magic shows.
But I was just
dance.
I was not jazzed to watch this show. And by the end of the first episode, I was hooked. It's just so funny. Like you get to see some of the things that are just so ridiculous that you'd never think you'd see those on American television. It makes complete sense when you find out that it's an Asian show.
Yeah. Yeah, it does. I mean, especially if you look at like commercials that are from Asia and all that, they're all very animal/human oriented, if that makes sense.
Anthropomorphic animals.
Yeah. It's a bunch of that on their commercials, and it totally makes sense that they would have mascots and stuff like that on a singing competition. It's kind of like furries.
Yes, this is the ultimate furry show in prime time.
Yeah, so furry friends, good on there and watch this show. You'll enjoy it.
Yes.
I find it
have made it to prime time.
Yeah. Oh, good for you guys. Good for you guys. But I'm thoroughly enjoying it, and I want to watch more. I think it comes on tomorrow. I don't remember. We're recording this on a Saturday, and I think it comes on Sunday. I'm not 100% sure because we're on Hulu and we're a day late.
We don't have cable, so we don't know when the rest of the. It's like when you work on third shift, you don't understand how normal people
live anymore. Like, how do you go to the grocery store that's not 24-hour? What?
Yeah.
What? But here we go. Let's kind of like delve into some of the clues. I want to start with the white rabbit first, because this one is blatantly obvious to me, and it's the liar in the beginning of our podcast tonight.
Well, you assume.
I assume it's him.
Allegedly.
And if it's not him, Joey Fatone, I apologize profusely to you. But I am like 99.9% positive this is Joey Fatone.
He's an avid listener of this podcast.
He is. He listens all the time. He comes over to our barbecues, and he likes our tacos. So, but the white rabbit. So it's this like white rabbit, solid white. He's kind of robotic in a way. His eyes glow red, and he twitches his head constantly. And on his body for like clothes, he's wearing, what's it called?
It looks like a straight jacket or kind of like almost like mummy wraps.
It looks like a straight jacket.
Yeah, he's like kind of a gothic, scary looking rabbit.
Exactly. Now, my first opinion on how he looks and why this signals that it's Joey Fatone to me, there is a music video that NSYNC put out back in 2000 whatevers of I Drive Myself Crazy. And in that music video, he's wearing a white straitjacket and he's twitching his head just like this rabbit does. Just a little peculiar. Also, he had bright red hair at the time, just like the eyes are bright red of the rabbit. Just putting that out there. But I mean, everything that they're wearing is a clue, just so you guys know. Like, when you're watching the show, all that they're wearing, every little movement that they're doing is a clue as to who they are.
It's really actually breathtaking to think of, like, the level of visual metaphor and wordsmithing that must go into, like, writing the scripts for these, like, clue videos.
Right.
Because I feel like they're trying to... Some of them are better than others, but like the better ones are really packing in every line they say is some sort of double entendre,
right?
Or some sort of like little word, one word in there will trigger some sort of clue. It's kind of interesting, and I wonder if there's like a staff of writers behind them, or if it's the celebrities kind of have to craft them themselves.
Oh my gosh, Fry is being nuts. The cats of the podcast are being crazy right now, just so you guys know. So if you hear weird stuff, that's them. But I do wonder if it's the celebrities that write this, or if it's, you know, a group of writers that, you know, sat down with the celebrities and was like, okay, tell us stuff about yourself. All right, we're going to use this and we're going to write it for you. I don't know. But it would be interesting if they're the ones that's actually doing it. But here's some more clues for the White Rabbit. One of the things he says is that he just pops up everywhere. To me, that kind of signals, again, Joey Fatone, because Joey wasn't in sync. And then all of a sudden he starts just showing up randomly on television shows, just out of nowhere. Like, he'll be on a food show. He'll be on music shows. He was on Dancing with the Stars. He was on the Hannah Montana show. He was on a couple things on Disney, too.
He's on My Big Fat Greek Wedding.
He's on My Big Fat Greek Wedding. He was on that movie with Lance Bass. Oh, crap, what's that called?
I don't even know.
They even had a song.
I've never seen a movie with Lance Bass in it.
Oh, you're missing out. That deep bass voice.
He's the pre-recorded voice of Family Feud.
This is Joey Fatone, and you're watching Family Feud. Like, it's just, he pops up everywhere. So, that's definitely something that signals to me that it is Joey Fatone. Another one, he says that he's used to doing synchronized singing.
Synchronized singing.
In synchronized singing. And I mean, not only did he perform in NSYNC doing synchronized singing in high school, he was also in an a cappella group where, again, he did synchronized singing. So dude's pretty much just done synchronized singing his entire life. Just putting that out there. He's done it. The first package that they had, he said he performed in a mask and said check. The second package that they did, he said this is my old stomping ground, and he was at like a carnival kind of a thing. So Joey Fatone's first, well, not his first job, but one of his first jobs was actually at Universal Studios. He played the Wolfman in the Beetlejuice Graveyard Review. You're welcome. This is all just from my head, okay?
I think the majority of the podcast is just going to be talking about details of Joey Fatone's life.
I know them. I know all of them because I was a huge NSYNC nerd. I am not ashamed to say that. They're very talented individuals.
He was in show choir in his junior year.
Yes, he was. Yes. Also, his dad does cooking stuff. And I believe in the second one, the second package, he had a bunch of hot dogs in his hands.
Yeah.
And
well, they were carrot hot dogs.
They were carrot hot dogs because he's a rabbit.
And hot dog buns.
But that 100% tells me that it's Joey Fatone because Joey Fatone has a hot dog stand. I'm just saying this. And it also talks about in the second one that, he's like a chef kind of a guy. Well, Joey Fatone is actually going to be in a show. He's going to be hosting My Family Recipe Rocks. And it's on Live Well Network, where he goes across the country to find homegrown cooks around the world and all that, to kind of talk about their recipes and all that. I don't know how you could not think that this is Joey Fatone. I just don't know, because all the signals are pointing to Joey Fatone to me. Also, he's a complete spaz on stage, and he can sing.
Yeah,
which
he's
is
also an excellent singer.
Yeah, which is also Joey
Fatone. That bunny came out
Fatone.
and rocked it.
Yeah, no jokes. Joey Fatone's done Broadway, so he was on Rent, he was on Little Shop of Horrors.
On stage, you can see his big pudge, too.
Yeah, you can't, but he's wearing a girdle.
Yeah, they were... Jenny McCarthy mentioned something. She's like, no, can't be Joey Fatone. He's fatter than that. And she's like, Joey Fatone's one of my good friends, and he's fat. You may not have a friend in Joey Fatone anymore.
Not that she's dumb. She actually got Tommy Chong.
Yeah, she's actually been the only one that's made not dumb guesses.
Exactly.
In the judges.
Well, no, because Nicole, she guessed, who was it that she guessed?
Oh.
She guessed somebody that
Somebody recently, yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember, but I was like, oh yeah, girl, you're right. But I think Nicole's really smart. I think they're all really, except for Ken. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Ken.
We may need to talk about that later.
We'll talk about Ken later. But, so, something else he said, that being a celebrity made him feel boxed in. And in the music video of It's Gonna Be Me, they were toys inside boxes and they had to break out of the box. What? Also, he says it's gonna be me in the package.
Yeah, he literally said, who's gonna be the winner? It's gonna be me.
And I'm like, honey, you gave it away. He gave it away that instant.
I think a lot of people are complaining that a lot of the clue packages give pretty much everything away.
Yeah. And it makes us feel like the judges are dumb because we're sitting there like, come on! How you not know? It's 100% Joey Fatone.
So we're saying this, and like now I'm thinking back though, because so far there's been 4 episodes.
Yeah.
And I got real close to guessing one.
Yeah.
But the others I did not guess.
Yeah.
The last one, the 4th episode, was Margaret Cho.
I had no idea.
Did not see that coming at all.
No, I did not either. And I like Margaret Cho, so I was kind of like, whoops.
And actually, she did really well at singing. Like her it's funny because like it's I don't know who went along in the selection here, because you've either got people that cannot sing at all, and then you have people that are amazing at it.
Right.
And they're just like, they can tell when they're singing. You've got, a couple professional singers there that can tell, oh, you're not trained to be a singer.
Robin Thicke is one of the judges. So is Nicole. I can't think of her last name, but she was in the Pussycat Dolls.
And they're like, they can spot really easily who knows how to sing and who doesn't. And they're, there's just some people that are just awful. And I guess one of my major complaints with the show, aside from it feels like they're giving you clues too much. One of the complaints I have is that the people that can't sing, they just auto-tune the hell out of their voices. And it's really blatant. And it's so much that like, if I did know what their voice sounded like, I couldn't tell through the auto-tune.
Absolutely.
Because it's just so ridiculously heavy.
Yeah. I think that they do that so that the celebrities don't get embarrassed, because they have to keep up a certain facade with the public anyway.
Right. Yeah. I mean, it would be embarrassing. Like one of them was Tommy Chong.
Yeah.
And we literally could not tell what the voice was. It was like butchered by the auto-tune because he's just... not he just he's a lazy guy.
It actually gave him a Spanish accent.
Yeah, it was weird.
Whenever I first was watching like the package for the Pineapple Head guy, I was like, hold on a second, that's George Lopez. I was like, that's him. There's no way that it's not George Lopez. 100% George Lopez. And then all this stuff about marijuana started popping up in the package, and I was like, oh, Cheech Marin.
So yeah, that's what
Jenny McCarthy
guessed it, because there was like an Up in Smoke reference.
Yes.
And there was like all this sort of stuff, and it was like, oh, okay, so this is Cheech and Chong.
Cheech and Chong.
And it just happened to be Chong, and she guessed Cheech.
Yeah. Well, she went back and forth. She said Cheech and Chong. She said Cheech, and then she goes, maybe Tommy Chong. And then she said, no, Cheech. No, yeah, Cheech. So I give that to her because she was extremely close and she did say his name. But these are the guesses, just so you guys have like a little bit of a clue as to how the judges are on the show. These are the guesses that they had for the White Rabbit. Chris Angel.
Yes, it's Chris Angel.
Yeah, they're like, he's a magician because he pops up everywhere. It's like, no.
Oh my God.
He's saying that he just appears on
there
things
was somebody else,
randomly.
they thought the peacock was Chris Angel, too.
Yes, I don't know why, but they really want Chris Angel on the show.
Yeah, they just really want Chris Angel.
They're like, I love Chris Angel. He's my favorite.
They're a bunch of mind freaks.
They are. Jake Gyllenhaal was another one. That one I can actually kind of understand because he is a rabbit.
Yeah, they thought Donnie Darko, but that was ignoring every other clue.
Exactly. They're like, it's just a rabbit.
And apparently, I don't know, can Jake Gyllenhaal sing?
I have no idea.
Because he's like, I don't know, like, I mean, Joey Fatone's like a singer.
Yeah.
Like, he's really good.
Right.
top shelf, I would say. And it's like, you're really going to think it's like Chris Angel?
I don't know. Maybe they know him personally and he is a good singer. I have no idea.
Maybe.
I could not tell you. But I do know Joey Fatone, and all of those clues are like, hey, honey, this is Joey Fatone. And his voice is like, hey, honey, this is Joey Fatone. That boy can belt, okay? He has always been such a good singer. And I feel like all the other NSYNC members are very, very undervalued because Justin kind of like, he was the cute little blonde boy with the curly hair. You know what I'm saying?
Sorry, this isn't an NSYNC podcast.
It's going to be an NSYNC. It's going to be an NSYNC podcast. That was terrible. But I mean, he's on it, so it kind of is an NSYNC podcast. I loved NSYNC. I'm not ashamed. I loved it. I loved it so much. But I used to carry around, I'm just going to do this. I used to carry around pictures of NSYNC to school with me until someone said, Erin, are you obsessed with NSYNC? And I said, no.
Am I a teenage girl?
Yeah. But I said, no. And then I stopped carrying it around with me. But I carried it around with me for a good 2 years. Yeah. I was like, oh, Joey's looking at me right now.
I have a Joey Fatone anecdote.
Oh, tell me. I've heard this.
There's a guy I used to, my old roommate, right when I got out of high school, he told me, and this may be apocryphal, I maybe misheard it or misremember, but
I hope it's all
this
true.
This is what I'm telling it because I feel like the story is better the way I remember him telling me. So my friend was at Cedar Point, and he was just about to ride this roller coaster that had this enormous line. So he had waited in the line for 30, 40 minutes. Mm-hmm. Just in the hot sun, just getting baked by the beams coming down, and he just finally got up to the front of the line, and in one of the other lines, you know how they kind of separate you into separate turnstiles on a roller coaster.
Yeah.
When one of the other lines just in front of him was Joey Fatone. Or he got up to, here's what it was. No, he got up to the front, and the workers all stopped the ride. Okay. Because apparently Joey Fatone was there and he's a celebrity, so they let him go. They let him cut in front of everyone.
That's rude.
And like my friend was just sitting there right at the edge, waiting. Like right at the turnstile about to go in, and they stopped the ride and let Joey Fatone get on. And then apparently the ride got stuck while he was on it.
I have a question.
Or he came through it and then it broke the ride.
I have a question. Did he get stuck in it?
I don't think he did. I think it got to the end and then they're like, oh no, there's a problem. And then they had to stop. So in his mind,
Wasn't it like a water slide?
I don't know. It was like a roller coaster. Oh. And he's like, Joey Fatone broke the ride. And he couldn't ride it after he waited so long. So he had this like burning hatred for many, many years for Joey Fatone because Joey Fatone robbed him of being able to ride this roller coaster.
You jerk, Joey Fatone.
Cedar Point.
You jerk. No, that's funny.
Yeah, it's pretty hilarious, and I hope it's true,
and not fake,
and not well. If it's fake, it's probably me fabricating it in my mind
you
of what I misremembered. But yeah, Joey Fatone, if you've already been called a liar, and now you're called a ride breaker,
you
buzzkill,
Joey. This is disappointing. So he doesn't feel as bad. When I was younger, I went to an NSYNC concert, and I told my friends the next day that I met you. I didn't meet you. I was a liar, too. Just like you, Joey. Just like you.
Just like you. I learned it from you.
I learned it from you, Joey. Wait, wouldn't he have learned it from me?
No. Shh. He was a liar long before you
were. But anyway. Yeah, but just so you guys know, after we watched the 4 episodes, I went on a YouTube rampage where we watched nothing but NSYNC videos, and Mitch enjoyed every single one of them.
Yeah. Also, we sat in a big rotunda at the West Baden Springs Hotel, in a big chair and just sang boy band songs.
He was really good. NSYNC, Backstreet Boys, 98 Degrees.
Yeah.
No boy band was safe.
What's the acoustics in that room are such that you can sing and you don't hear anything echo back, and no one can hear you if they're like 5 feet away from you.
But let's move on from Joey Fatone, because I think we have talked about Joey Fatone, and I know I'm going to talk about him again later because childhood me. Wait, no, I do want to say one more thing. I had the chance a couple years ago to go and meet Joey Fatone, Nick Carter, and Chris Kirkpatrick, and I think AJ McLean. Because they were going to be at some like Comic-Con or something like that. I don't remember exact. Phantom Fest. It was Phantom Fest they were going to be at. I chose not to go. And here's why. Because adult me and young me would have imploded. And I don't know if I would have been able to come back from that.
Yeah.
I just wanted to put that out there. But moving on. Let's talk about the monster.
Yeah, so one of the other ones that's still left that I think is probably one of the better singers.
Oh, yeah, he's very good.
Up there with the rabbit is the monster. And he's this like big pill-shaped furry monster. So you can't even tell like what kind of body type or anything like that. So it's like really hard to go by.
Right.
His package contained...
Kind of reminds me of Tully from Monsters, Inc.
Yeah, kind of.
Tully? Yeah, Tully. Sully.
Except he's not shaped like Sully.
No, but the colors...
He's more shaped like the Yo Gabba Gabba monsters than anything.
I could see that as well.
But he's so in his package they tried to give a couple clues. It was a very like hip hop vibe. He mentioned stuff about how he had to get like society turned on him and he had to step away from the limelight for a little bit.
Right.
And then he said something about being from the South and riding in a caddy and stuff like that. There was a handful of other clues, but those were kind of the biggest. I thought at first, and I really want it to be, because of all that's going on right now, I really want it to be R. Kelly.
No.
Because like I would, my first thought is like, wouldn't it be funny if they filmed all this with R. Kelly before all of his like legal stuff that's going on right now happened? And they're like, "Oh no, what have we done?
Well,
we can't recut it now. We just gotta let it roll."
You know what though? They could just recut it with it being somebody else inside the monster.
They could.
Like they're just like, "Oh, take off the mask," and then it's Usher.
Yeah. For anyone that doesn't have the internet, R. Kelly is being accused of like running like a cult, basically, and having a bunch of like teenage girls as slaves.
Yeah. Oh yeah. By the way, the cops say they can't do anything now because they're all of age. That seems correct. I really hope it's not R. Kelly in there.
Well, so that was one. I also thought Bobby Brown.
You did mention Bobby Brown several times.
I don't think the people would let him back in.
No.
To do something like that.
No, not after what all he did to Whitney.
It's a little bit of poor taste.
Yeah.
To say that.
Yeah.
What's that one guy?
I really want it to be CeeLo. I know it's not CeeLo, but
you can tell CeeLo's voice. Like,
and also his arms are really small.
Right, yeah. The monster's arms are a normal human length, so you know it's not CeeLo.
CeeLo and Kelly Clarkson have really small arms.
T-Rex arms.
They've both been judges on The Voice, so I'm like...
Well, that's probably why they got Kelly Clarkson on.
Because of the T-Rex arms?
They're like, well, CeeLo's gone, so we need some... We're
need
missing the
else
we need to represent
arms.
the small arm demographic. But so most people on the internet believe it is T-Pain, and I was like, T-Pain, that's stupid. This guy can actually sing. T-Pain's like a auto-tune guy, and apparently I looked and watched. There's an NPR like Tiny Desk concert with T-Pain. And it's just him and a guy on piano, and he sounds great.
He has a really pretty... I could hear it in the other room when you were listening to it.
I'm pretty sure... I don't know. I'm 90% sure that's... I think the internet's right on this one.
Yeah, the voice was extremely similar. from the video. Well, I mean, I was in the other room, but it sounded very similar to the monster's voice. Man, that boy can sing.
Yeah, the monster was my favorite, and mainly because it prompted Joel McHale to say the thing that I was thinking, which was, this is the most ridiculous thing I've ever seen on TV. This is a monster singing a song about I don't know what he was singing, but it was really good.
Yeah.
And it was just it's just the weirdest. Like you get pulled into the show, and then you step back a second and you go, "Oh, this is really weird what I'm watching."
I feel like Joel McHale is in a constant state of step back.
Yeah.
Like I feel like he's always like, "What is happening?"
He's a casual observer to his entire life.
I was talking to Mitch, and I feel like this will appeal to the furries. I was watching it, and I was like, it's really strange. You're watching them perform up there in those mascot outfits, singing and dancing, and you kind of find them really appealing. And I'm like, I get it.
You're just drawn to these mascots.
Yeah. Because, like, when you're little and you get crushes on cartoons? No?
Like when Bugs Bunny dressed up like a girl?
No.
Yeah, me neither.
No, but seriously, like, I had a crush on the fox from Robin Hood, Disney's Robin Hood, Thomas O'Malley on the Aristocats. I had a crush on a bunch of little animals from Disney shows.
Does Ariel count?
Ariel does count because she's half
not
fish.
A human. Yeah, she's
half fish.
Mermaid.
So technically, you, my friend, were a furry as well.
No, they're not furry.
Scaly. Fishy. You were a scaly as well.
Scaly the whole time.
You were a scaly the whole time. You didn't even know.
Yeah. Why couldn't she be the other kind of mermaid? The kind with the fish part on the top and the lady part on the bottom? Is that really what you want?
Is that what you want? How would you talk to her?
Hashtag Futurama reference.
Oh, I remember that actually. But yeah, but if that's T-Pain, honey, stop using vocoder. You don't need it.
Yeah, your auto-tune is ruining what could be a wonderful voice.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a wonderful vocal career. Didn't he mention, like, being in trouble with the law or something?
Yeah, so, and I don't know exactly what it's talking about. He said he needed to step away. So there was something, but it feels too recent.
Uh-huh.
There was something, like, last year. Yeah. I was finding, I didn't know about any of this, but researching, I found that it was, like, he apparently plagiarized some, like, Bollywood movie song, like a theme song from a Bollywood movie. He like took the melody almost exactly from it and just had it going in one of his new songs. And like there was a big deal about that, but I don't know that would be it, because that was that I think was like late last year. So it would have been less than a month ago. So it's not even like, well, how long did you step back? Like,
I'm going to be honest. Why would that stop him from doing music or anything? Because there are so many people now that just blatantly rip off of other songs. Mars. Bruno Mars, Adele. Well, actually, no. Bruno Mars is ripping off Adele.
Bruno Mars rips off
everyone. No joke.
There's not an original bone in
Lana
that
Del Rey,
body.
she ripped off Creep.
Yeah. But that was ripped off from the
Hollies. And then George Harrison ripped off, was it the Supremes? I think it was the Supremes. I don't remember.
So. I think it was a male artist.
No, it was female.
Well, I don't know.
I don't remember who exactly it was, but...
That wasn't very recent, though.
Oh, yeah, and then everybody ripping off Miley Cyrus's... It's a hive mind. Once something starts getting popular, everybody's kind of like jumps on that bandwagon and is all like, oh, I need to make something that sounds like this, so I'll be popular. You know?
It's like...
It's just how it goes.
Well, it's like 5 years ago, everybody was doing, whoa.
Exactly.
And everything.
Yeah. Oh, remember when Gautier came out and he was like, you didn't have to cut me off. And then everybody was like, you didn't have to cut me off. Even the Miley Cyrus song does that. The
just wanted
Wrecking
you
Ball.
To let me in.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I came in like a wrecking ball. I was cornbirding her.
Yeah.
But anyway,
We're way off topic.
We are.
Now.
But seriously, T-Pain.
But I don't know. I didn't search back in his career because I do feel like there was. I don't follow rap very much, and I was never really that familiar with T-Pain to begin with. But I do feel like there was a period of time where he was really popular, and then he went away for a little bit. So I don't know. I think
that's true.
I don't know if he got in some sort of scuffle or something like that, or got in trouble, or there was some controversy, and he had to stop for a little bit. But
did you just look up T-Pain arrests?
No, I looked up for T-Pain controversy, and then there was a controversy about him plagiarizing.
Well, now I'm curious.
Well.
Oh, T-Pain was arrested for a loaded gun.
Oh, what?
There you go, friends.
Why is that illegal?
I don't know. Law enforcement found a loaded Smith & Wesson .380 pistol in T-Pain's luggage it's at an airport.
Oh. Why did he bring a gun to an airport?
I don't know. He confirms he was not trying to sneak a gun onto a plane. He simply was not aware that the weapon was in his bag. What?
Checks out. I just leave guns in my luggage all the time.
I don't buy that, man. Because I mean, like, I'm packing last minute. You know what I'm saying? Like, I am in my bag, like, psh.
So tell me about the peacock.
Oh gosh. This one was so easy for me.
This is literally 30 seconds into the song.
I knew immediately who this sucker was because, let me tell you again, I enjoy Disney. And also, I grew up watching him on TV, like in old reruns and stuff. So the peacock, should I just give some clues?
Well, I mean,
I'll give some clues before I say who he is.
His clues were really obvious anyway.
Extremely obvious. Extremely. So, he says he feels like a 5-year-old again after getting to perform on stage. And,
he even said in his first package, he straight up said he started performing when he was 5.
Yeah, exactly. So he was like, I feel like I'm 5 again. So I'm just going to say who it is. Donny Osmond. It's Donny flippin' Osmond.
He also said stuff about like, used to be a teeny bopper. Mm-hmm. He says, oh, your mom, it's been a long time since your mom had a poster of me on her wall.
Right.
And he said, he also had something where he talked about how he was doing like a Vegas thing.
Right. And he performs in Vegas all the time.
And one of his clues was, yes, I've played in Vegas and stuff like that.
Right.
And then he also said something like show business was in my DNA.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, you used to perform with your sister.
No, it's not just that.
Yeah.
No, his
and his parents.
He started performing at 5 years old with the Osmonds. Like he had the entire, it was kind of like the Brady Bunch, but a real thing. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So they had like their own TV show and all that, and
Showbiz Family. And he went on from playing at 5 years old with the Osmonds to being a teenager and performing with his sister Marie on Donnie and Marie, and it was kind of like a variety show, kind of like the Sonny and Cher show. And then after that, he said that he started just taking on more dramatic roles. Which Donny Osmond did do that. He started taking on theatrical roles. He was Joseph in the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat. I remember I actually have the CD from when I was little when he was on that. And my personal favorite, he was on Mulan. Yeah, he gets down to business.
Yeah, let's get down to business, to defeat the Hun. Yeah. But seriously, like, if you watch Donny Osmond, if he's ever guest appearing on anything, that guy is on 24/7.
Yeah, showman is the perfect word for him.
Yes. Oh, absolutely. And I mean, he's straight up Vegas, and the peacock is fantastic analogy for him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
he picked the perfect furry.
He did. He picked the perfect furry. But he said in the last one that he was going to be performing up really high and that he was conquering his fear. And one of the things that Donny Osmond is really well known about is for conquering fears. he started having really bad panic attacks to where he couldn't even go on stage anymore, but he kept on like powering through it. And the minute that he would go out in front of the crowd, he'd like force a smile. And it turns out that he's got severe social anxiety disorder. But he works through it. So I think it's interesting that he kind of put that into his package as well. Yeah. You know, like, hey, I'm going to conquer this fear because it's important to conquer your fears. He has like a counselor that would like stay with him and stuff. Like, good for you, buddy. Good for you. He actually talked about being friends with Michael Jackson. And Donny Osmond is a friend of Michael Jackson's. They grew up together on stage. Like, they were both teenagers in the 70s. And they did performances together. They gave out awards together on award shows, all kinds of stuff. And there's actually a time whenever Michael Jackson was he was just like a really rough time for Michael Jackson. And he ran off with his 3 kids and was like hiding in Arizona somewhere. And he called Donny Osmond, and Donny was just like, why don't you just come out to Utah and just stay with us for a while? Just have some normalcy in your life.
Utah?
Yeah.
Is he Mormon?
He's the people that do Family Search.
Yeah, Mormon.
Latter-day Saints.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's that.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, his dad was a pastor.
They seem Mormon.
Yeah, his dad was a pastor before they started doing music. But yeah, people were talking about how there was a puppy dog in, like a little stuffed animal puppy dog in one of the packages. And they were like, what does that mean? Well, one of Donny Osmond's first songs by himself, whenever he became a teenage heartthrob, was Puppy Love. Puppy Love.
I did notice that, and I made a note of it because it seemed like they were trying to make it significant in the video.
Yeah, and I just know that song because I grew up liking music from different time periods than my own.
But he really did blow it out of the water. He was excellent.
Oh, yeah.
And I think he was the first, like, on the first episode, he was the first act.
He was.
And it was amazing.
It was a great thing to start with. So good. I gotta tell you, though, his sister pretty much gave it away as to who he was.
What?
His sister went on like somebody was talking to her in
She's
an
like,
interview.
oh, Donnie's doing so good on this.
Pretty much.
Oh, no.
Pretty much. Like, she literally said in an interview that he needed to stop giving away so many easy clues. And then she said, but I don't know if it's him.
Oh, my God.
It's like, Marie!
She's probably going to get sued.
You know she probably will. That's why Joey Fatone's being a liar.
Were you reading earlier that they were, like, being really secretive with everyone?
Yes. No.
Maybe I was reading it. But apparently they were like, they would pick them up from like undisclosed locations where they were already.
I didn't know this.
Yeah, they were already in uniform, and everybody on set is like, not everybody knows. Like they stay in mask the whole time and stuff like that.
Cool. Well, what's his head? The announcer says he doesn't know.
Nick Cannon.
Nick Cannon, thank you.
But he may be as big of a liar as
Joey
Fatone is.
At least Marie Osmond's not a liar.
Can we talk about Nick Cannon for a second?
Sure.
Because he's really rocking the outfits.
I'm going to tell you guys a secret. Show. Mitch has told me before that if he was going to be gay, Nick Cannon would be one of them.
Hey, let's not talk about that part of Nick Cannon. What I want to talk about is he was wearing a turban.
Yeah.
And it was awesome.
Yeah, he says that he wears that for religious reasons. I think Sikh, is that what it is? S-I-K-H? Sikh?
Is he a Sikh? Mm-hmm. That's interesting.
Yeah.
I'm glad he's not a Scientologist or something.
No, he's not.
But yeah, that looked really cool, and he had like really neat suits and stuff like that. Yeah. Dresses like I would dress if I had his money.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. Also, he comes out with masks on.
Yeah.
And he looks good.
Yeah. They give him different masks, though. Like one time he had a Black Panther mask.
Yeah, one time he had a panda.
Wakanda.
Oh, that was cool. That was super cool.
Panda mask.
Yeah, that was super cool. Like, yeah, but he's doing a great job. He actually, you know how there's some announcers that you're just like, stop. He does a good job.
Carson Daly?
Yes. And Fergie.
Oh, God.
The Four Circles.
What was the name of that show?
I don't even remember.
It's called like The Four or something like that.
I think that's what it was called, but it was terrible.
Has that been canceled yet?
I have no idea.
I hope so.
I could not tell you.
Man, that was a bad show.
All I know is that Fergie had a specific voice for everything that she was programmed to say.
That was the most bizarre show I've ever seen. Because Fergie is not a good...
She's not a
good host.
She'll pose the whole time.
She just poses
different
the whole
poses
time,
every 5 seconds.
And she's awkward. And then they had like the judges were like Khalid, like DJ Khalid, and he's just like a living meme.
Yeah.
And then like you had some guy that was like a real record producer guy.
Yeah.
But he's like not TV ready at all.
No.
Like he was just this really dorky looking guy
who would start dancing
and
it would look like my dad was dancing.
That's good. And he'd like dance to it. It was so funny. It's like, why is this guy on TV? And Meghan Trainor.
It's so strange.
Who that always baffles me when they put like, they're like, we need an expert singer. Let's have Meghan Trainor. It's like this lady's put out like 2 albums and it's like, she's like a contemporary artist that's like, still really on a short leash from the record studios.
Right. Well, now record studios are in cahoots with the TV stations.
Oh yeah, totally.
So I mean, like the crossover is extremely high.
Thing for sure.
So I mean, I'm not gonna knock Meghan Trainor. Girl can sing, and she goes out of her way to write empowerment songs for like body image and being happy with yourself. So I'm not going to knock that girl.
No, I'm not knocking Meghan Trainor per se. I'm just knocking the idea that, hey, we need an expert that's like a legend in the music industry.
Right.
Let's get Meghan Trainor.
I see.
Who may be forgotten 5 years from now.
Well, she started out quite a while ago just writing songs for people. So she has been in the business for a little while. She's just new to the singing part. She's new to being in front of the camera.
Yeah.
Yeah, but parachute pants.
Yeah.
One word.
I'm just saying if I was like learning a trade like carpentry or welding,
yeah,
I wouldn't want to learn it from a guy that's only been doing it for 2 years.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like it's just like one of those
You're
things.
Like, I want to go to the master welder.
Yeah, we're gonna get they get people, and it's weird because it's hard for me to get perspective because they'll get somebody like Katy Perry on like American Idol. And like, to me, I was an adult when Katy Perry became famous.
Right.
So to me, it's like she's new. But,
no, we were in high school.
Kind of, yeah.
We were in high school. She came out early 2000s. Like 2003.
Nonetheless, what I'm saying is like, I consider her to be new music,
right?
But it's been so long because I'm so old now that like she really has been doing it a long time.
Yeah.
And like the people that I probably thought, like 80s artists when I was a kid, it's like the same length of time. So I don't have a lot of perspective when it comes to that.
Right.
But yeah, that's kind of a non sequitur. But that was such an awkward show.
It really was.
And there's some judges on this show that make it kind of awkward. Yeah. Well, there's a particular judge on this show that makes it awkward.
Yeah, and they're fixing it.
Which is a good segue.
So, yeah.
Ken? Yeah, Ken Jeong. Ken Jeong. For those who are not familiar with Ken Jeong, he's the guy from The Hangover.
Yeah. I've not seen it. I haven't seen any of his work.
And he's apparently the guy on... He has a show or something.
Dr. Ken, I think.
Ken or something like that. He is, in my opinion...
With Margaret Cho.
In my opinion, he's not funny at all. He's absolutely anti-funny. He strikes at me as someone like a middle-aged guy that's trying to make teenagers laugh.
Yeah.
Like he's like that... he's like a desperate high school teacher that wants to connect with kids and make them think he's cool.
I could see it. He has not made me laugh once, but then they brought in Joel McHale to kind of feel how the audience is feeling
Yeah,
about him.
it was it was like the second or third episode.
It was the second episode.
And they're like, oh God, this isn't working.
No, it was the third
episode. And they're like, oh God, Ken is really dying out there. We need to bring somebody else in.
So they brought in Joel McHale, and all he does the entire time is troll Ken.
Yeah. Yeah, he just like makes fun of Ken the whole time.
Yeah, and I think it's so that like the audience, when you're watching it, is like, oh, okay, it's cool. It's a joke now.
Yeah, and your hatred of Ken gets
lessened,
transformed into a joke.
Exactly.
So then you're like, oh, that's funny.
Thanks, Joel McHale.
Oh, I get it. Ken's the heel. He's funny.
He's Jerry Gergich.
Yeah.
From Parks and Rec.
Can you imagine watching a show with just Jerry Gergich on it?
I don't know how I would feel about it.
Jerry Gergich and Robin Thicke.
Oh, no.
And Jenny McCarthy.
No.
And the girl from the Pussycat Dolls.
And Joel McHale. Joel McHale would fix it.
Joel McHale would fix it.
Joel McHale's very funny.
Yes.
Very funny. I just wish that Ken had some of it.
Yeah.
He's just trying too hard. I think if he just like naturally let it happen, it would be funnier. I'm just saying. But he's trying way too hard. He's like, I have to make every moment hilarious because I'm a comedian. Yeah. My name says comedian.
I kept saying, like, when they show his name at the bottom, it should be comedian in quotation marks.
Comedian. You know, he's probably one of those people that he's funny to be around when he's not trying.
Yeah.
He just needs to cool it.
Well, it's like
calm down.
His comedy persona is like, I'm loud. Like, that's his comedy persona. Yeah. He just yells stuff.
Oh, see, I've never seen any of his stuff. This is my first impression.
You've seen him on the show, and that's all he does. When he tells a joke, he just says it loudly. And that's like his delivery method. But like I don't know. He seems to me like, and I don't know, maybe I should research him before I start making assumptions about his career. Yeah, he seems to me like somebody that was probably like a comedy writer. Uh-huh. Not like he was always the bridesmaid, never the bride.
Yeah.
And they're like, hey, we need a comedy person. We need you to be on this thing. Hey, you want to be on it? And then they got his break. And apparently people like him because they've cast him on now to be a judge on this show. But he's just not my cup of tea.
I mean, he seems like a real nice guy.
Yeah.
But I don't know, just comedy style is just clashing.
Yeah, there's certain people that like apparently someone thinks they're funny because they're, you know, there's like certain comedians that I just don't find funny at all, but they're apparently.
He's actually a physician.
Oh wow. Oh, so he was oh my God. He's the dentist on Bob's Burgers.
Is he really?
No, he might play that guy, but
no, I don't think so.
That's the same guy as him if he was a real doctor.
You're right.
What's the name of that character?
I don't remember the character's name.
The one that Tina's in love with?
Dr. Dentist.
The dentist guy.
He's a
Dr. Yap.
Yeah, you're right.
Dr. Yap.
He's a licensed physician, but has stopped practicing in favor of his acting career. Interesting.
So, okay.
He went to Duke University.
I'm not that far off. I'm actually worse. He's worse than I thought.
Why? Improvisational comedy, sketch comedy, and observational comedy.
No, because I thought he started out in the comedy, like, as like a comedy writer for like Conan or something.
Oh, no.
You know?
No.
But no, he's actually just a guy he's that funny guy at the office that everyone said, you should go into comedy.
So he started out in improv. That's not surprising.
Yep.
Okay, so he does internal medicine, and he's an improv guy.
Yeah, so that makes sense why he has his own show where he's a doctor.
Yeah, it totally makes sense. Interesting. I wonder if he was like, you know, seeing patients, and they're like, oh, Dr. Ken, you're so funny. You should be a comedian.
Funny. I wonder if it's, so you know those type of people that, doctor would be another example of this, or like, you know, you go to somebody and they like keep telling jokes.
Yeah.
And you're stuck in a room with them, so you have to kind of laugh.
You're like,
I wonder if that's where he cut his chops.
I'm related to someone like that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know who you're referring to. Are you talking about me?
No. No. No, I'm not referring to you by any means.
You've been stuck in a small room with me for 7 years.
And I'm like, oh, gosh. I just want to leave. No, it's fine. I'm not talking about you, but I'm not gonna put it out there because it's unnecessary.
Yeah, that's unnecessary.
It's unnecessary, but
I don't want to have to break out the trombone to censor it again.
Ooh, it made my lips twitch. All right.
So
B.
let's real quick run through everybody else that's less interesting.
Okay.
And just say who we think they are.
Okay.
Go ahead. You said the B.
Yeah. Who do you think?
Well, so the clues included stuff like she was an older singer.
Yeah.
She had like a southern accent.
Yeah. Oh, thick southern accent.
Yeah, there was a thing about like there was some peaches in the background, so it's like a Georgia person.
Right.
And she kept saying, she's like, I'm going to sing to a new generation.
Right.
And
which obviously tells you that she's been in the business.
And she came out
for a while.
And she came out and she was awesome.
She was.
And then they asked her when she started singing, and she said the 50s.
Right. But she kind of gave like a, I'm not 100% positive, but I think it's the 50s.
Yeah, well, she went 50s and did like a so-so motion with her hand. Yeah. But like, so I don't know black.
Oh, and they keep calling her Queen Bee.
Yeah. Well, she said,
she said, you could call me the Queen Bee.
She said, I'm the Queen Bee, but Empress will do.
Uh-huh.
And
that's a huge clue.
Yeah. So when we were watching it, we were all like, Dionne Warwick, Diana Ross.
I was watching and I was thinking Patti LaBelle. That's who I was thinking whenever I first started watching her.
And I don't know that era of like that, like Motown lady thing. I just don't know that era of music. I know it
pretty well. I'm not an expert on it by any means.
So the internet is pretty sure that this is
Gladys Knight. Which makes sense.
And apparently Gladys Knight's nickname, according to Wikipedia, is the Empress of Soul.
Mm-hmm. And she has a vibrato that is very well known.
Yeah, so basically that one Empress line, which was in the second episode, which is the second episode, basically gave away who she was.
Right, and everyone was like, oh, the Empress, got it, Gladys Knight.
Well, so the funny thing is, I don't know if they're instructed to do this, but the judges give really, really bad guesses.
I think they're supposed to keep the people who are watching guessing.
Yeah, and it makes me wonder if they know right off, but they don't. They're told to kind of not say it.
There's a part of me that thinks that's accurate, but there's another part that doesn't, and the reason being is that Jenny McCarthy very quickly said Tommy Chung or Cheech Marin, which is she just knew, you know. So I don't know if they do tell them to just throw one out there. Of course, after she said that, she did say Barack Obama.
Yeah. Yeah, there was some really bad ones. Like Barack Obama was
blatantly bad.
Judge Judy keeps getting thrown out. There's lots of stupid
That was for
ones.
the poodle.
Yeah.
That was for Margaret Cho.
So yeah, okay, so there's that. There's what's another one?
Of the people that are performing?
Yeah,
or the bad guesses.
No, what's another one? We've talked about the bee.
Oh, okay. The unicorn.
The unicorn.
The unicorn. So she said she was raised in one of the richest neighborhoods, which is Beverly Hills.
And there was a Beverly Hills sign.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And who do we know that was in Beverly Hills 90210? So she said she dreamt of singing, but somebody belittled her and told her that she was tone deaf. She said that she has bad relationships with her family. And who do we know that has bad relationships with her family? So, Tori Spelling. I'm just going to go ahead and put it out there.
It definitely seems like Tori Spelling.
It does.
And she's like just bad, good enough.
Yeah.
She's like on that cusp.
Right.
Where it's like a girl that you know like sings in the shower.
Right. I'm really wondering, because they started playing this song in the background of her package that I think might have been her singing. It was like Stand Your Ground or whatever, and I was like, I've never heard this song before, and I tried looking it up, and there is literally nothing about that song anywhere. Like I put the lyrics on the internet, and you know how you can like pull up any lyric just by typing it in.
Yeah, you just have like half a sentence, and
right?
you can find
and
whatever song.
I think it's a song that she wrote. And then she's like, "I love myself. Stand your ground." And I was like, "Okay, girl."
And part of it as well is like, you know, with that one in particular, like part of her face you can kind of see it,
right?
And you can kind of see it's got kind of a round chin,
yeah,
and it kind of like looks like it could be Tori Spelling.
Right. Well, in case you guys don't know something about Tori Spelling's background, her father was Erin Spelling, which is like a big time producer of television. Really rich guy. He married a woman named Candy, and they had the 2 kids, and Erin passed away. Tori was supposed to get some sort of inheritance, but all of it went to Candy instead. And her and her mom have had nothing but squabbles since then. So, not great.
Yeah.
Not great. She said in the package that she lost her sheen, and they immediately said, "Oh, Charlie Sheen, it's Denise Richards." But Tori Spelling's first husband's name was Charlie. So I don't know if she was saying that to kind of say, "Oh, Charlie, this will bring somebody to Charlie Sheen."
I don't know. Maybe she didn't mean like a sheen.
Maybe she didn't.
Maybe she just meant she lost her sheen.
Yeah, she.
It's a weird word to pick.
She dulled herself.
Though.
It is
a really weird word to pick.
And she's constantly saying that she's lost her sparkle, her sheen, her this, her that. But she also makes jewelry and sells jewelry. So
I don't know. This is one I'm not that sure about.
I'm not 100% positive on that either. It could be Denise Richards. Could be. Because she talks about being a model.
I feel like Denise Richards would sound horrible.
Yeah.
Like, there's just something about her voice. I feel like she can't sing at all.
There were 2 things that really stuck out to me that said it was Tori Spelling. The very beginning of it, she has a book in her, the unicorn has a book in her hands, and she's opening it, and she says, "Let me tell you about a story." And the very first book that Tori Spelling ever put out was called Storytelling, with the S being lowercase and the T being uppercase, and then an I in the end instead of a Y. And then she said, "I'm going to be victorious" in the other package. And her second book she had out was Victorious with a TOR capital T.
It's our name.
It's my name.
Publicity. What was it again?
Victorious?
No, I'm...
Publicity.
It's got our names.
Oh, man. That guy makes me laugh.
But yeah, so, yeah. I'm pretty sure it's her.
Yeah. And also, she's notorious for having anxiety, for being, like, talked down to, for being crapped on.
And having, like, really bad self-esteem.
Yes.
As well, yeah.
I used to watch her reality show with her, and I don't know if they're still married. Dean, her husband. And their 4 kiddos or 5 kiddos. How many does she have now? I'm not sure. But she was just full on panic all the time. And I could see it. I could see it. But there's also a scene in her package where she's holding like little baby unicorns. And I think she's got 4 of them in her arms. I don't know. It could be 5. And I know she's got 4 or 5 kids, so... I don't know. I'm guessing it's Tori Spelling. I don't know 100% for sure. Possibly.
Yeah. That's our provisional guess.
That's our possible guess.
And if she gets kicked off this week...
we'll find out.
Then we'll erase this and re-put... No.
We will completely delete this podcast and put out a different one.
That's what we'll do.
Yep.
So,
The Lion.
The Lion. So her package... didn't have a lot in it until the second one.
Right.
So she would talk about like, "Oh, didn't know I've always wanted to sing, but I never had the confidence. Now I've got a lion mask on.
And now no one can see me,
she's
and
like,
I have
I was
confidence."
Hollywood royalty or something like that. And then in the second package, she's like, do hashtag stuff. I'm like a activist and stuff like that.
Who's not an activist, though?
Yeah, it's like
celebrities?
I was like, this really doesn't narrow it down at all. And then there was one thing that I think is like annoyingly giveaway is there's her holding a newspaper.
Yeah.
And it said like Haley Times, and then it says gold found in Haley. And so everyone is saying this is Rumor Willis.
Yeah.
So she's, yes, Hollywood royalty because both her parents are famous.
Right.
And she does sing.
And she's famous because of them.
Yeah, exactly. And so I don't know about her activism, but her sister is famous for like going to the Free the Nipple March.
Yeah.
And
it was a women's rights march.
Yeah, making a big thing about that.
Right.
But apparently Rumor fancies herself an activist as well.
Well, what if it's her sister and not Rumor?
That'd be weird.
It would be.
That'd be really weird.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be. I don't know. Both of them could sing.
Yeah.
We tried to listen to Rumor Willis singing, and she does like a... She
tries to sound like Amy Winehouse.
Yeah, we'll call it the jazz singer girl fake voice that everyone does.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know if maybe this is her voice when she's not trying to have a particular sound. And if this is the voice that she's doing without trying to have a particular sound, please continue to do it.
Yeah.
Because it's very pretty. You don't need to put on airs.
Yeah, there's a possibility that it could be her not doing that annoying voice.
Right.
It's like when, if I was to try to pretend to be a country singer.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah, exactly.
Won't you buy me?
Like, yeah, throw that accent on there, but it's not really my voice.
Oh, man, I love it when there are country singers and their accent sounds exactly like their singing voice.
You mean Reba?
Reba, the lady from Sugarland.
Oh, yeah.
I love her voice.
Garth Brooks is like that, too.
Garth Brooks, yes. What's that guy's name? Want to talk about me? Want to talk about...
Toby Keith.
Yeah.
Randy Travis.
All of those dudes, all of those peoples, their voices all sound like it. And there's no point in pretending to be someone else. So if she is pretending, please don't. You don't need to.
If you want to watch something excellent, by the way, speaking of Randy Travis, watch the Touched by an Angel with Randy Travis on it. He's such a bad actor. It's so funny.
Oh, it's good.
But he's got that voice.
He's got that voice the whole
time. He's got that deep voice.
I really hope he gets better.
Yeah, he had
a bad
cancer or something.
He had a bad stroke.
Oh, he had a stroke. Yeah, that was it. Dang.
His band is still touring around and like raising money for all of his medical and treatments and all that. But he sits on stage while his band sings and plays for him, and the only thing that he really says is "Amen." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It just makes me sad. I hope he gets better, because he's very talented.
This got depressing.
It did. We'll switch. Who's left? We did the unicorn, did the lion, the raven. Now the internet seems to believe that the raven is Ricky Lake.
I believe the raven's Ricky Lake. I've thought that since the beginning.
I actually mentioned Ricky Lake too, but I have this thing where I remember the wrong person's name for the wrong face. And I was thinking Sally Jesse Raphael.
Which was really funny because Ken Jeong said Sally Jesse Raphael. And I'm like, oh, that's so stupid. That's the stupidest thing.
Then I was like, yeah, that is dumb. And then I was like, oh, that's who I thought. That's who I thought.
Yeah, so...
Well, actually, I'm still thinking of Ricky Lake, but I'm picturing her as Sally Jesse Raphael.
Yeah.
My brain does this. Like I used to assume that, not assume, but I used to think that Phil Collins was Gallagher, the comedian. I don't know why.
They look pretty similar.
They do, but I envisioned them together as the same person. So Gallagher was smushing watermelons while singing.
Also Jason Sudeikis and Chris Parnell.
There's someone else too.
Ed Helms.
Ed Helms. I can't tell these guys apart. Or the Food Network ladies.
Oh.
Alex Garnaschelli and
Amanda Freitag.
Oh yeah, I cannot. They'll be on Chopped together and I'm like, who am I looking at? Which one are you? I'm not good at telling people apart. All you white people look the same. Just saying. Just saying.
So in the Ravens package, she mentioned that she she had a loss.
Yeah, like a tragedy.
A tragic loss. She mentioned that nobody talks more than her.
Yep.
So it's like a talk show thing.
And they actually asked her if she had her own talk show, and she said yes.
Yeah. So apparently, like last year or a year ago or something, 2 years ago maybe, Ricky Lake's ex-husband, who she was producing a film with, committed suicide.
Oh, goodness.
So that's almost, if that's her, that's almost certainly who she's talking about.
Yeah.
And then, she was a talk show host. Raven also makes sense because she has like long brown hair.
Long dark hair, yeah.
Yeah. And she's kind of got that same short, squatty body type.
I mean, it could be that she's in grieving as well. Like the Raven, and how she's like has been in a cage, and like the cage is broken that's on top of her head, and like she's coming out of the cage.
Yeah.
And she's been doing just fine. She's gotta be down because she wants it all.
She wants it all. It
started out with a kiss.
Oh,
started it end up like this. It was only a kiss.
It was only a kiss.
I'm falling asleep.
She's very good. Like, she's better than, if that is Ricky Lake, who knew?
Right.
That Ricky Lake could sing so well.
There's been some whispers that it's Rachel Ray. And Rachel Ray's show actually had Joey Fatone on the show. I'm going to go back to Joey Fatone being a freaking liar. But it had Joey Fatone on the show, and both of them were sitting there like, I don't know why they think this of me. This is so silly, blah, 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 blah. But Joey Fatone said the same exact thing that he said in another interview with someone else.
The same words.
Like it was written down for him, like he rehearsed
the
it.
The same words that he mistakenly said, like platypus. Mm-hmm. He said platypus in both of them.
Yes, he
did. In the same cadence. It's like he's practicing it.
He's an actor.
I'm almost certain it's not Rachel Ray.
I'm almost
certain. Because
as
Rachel
well.
Ray has an obnoxious voice.
She yells all the time.
Yeah.
You don't need to yell,
really,
girl.
Her voice is really like scratchy.
Yeah.
And like, if she was singing, she'd sound like, I don't know, like Barbra Streisand or
what?
Or
Barbra Streisand.
No, I'm not thinking
Barbra
Streisand. I think of Bette Midler, where she kind of sings like.
Where
like
her
that.
accent comes through. Gotcha.
If that was if it was Rachel Ray, she would sound like that.
I feel like Rachel Ray would sound like a female Tom Waits.
No, not that bad.
A little drop of poison. Because here's why.
Yamo.
Rachel Ray. Yamo! Rachel Ray has, I think she got them removed. She has cysts on her vocal cords.
Probably from yelling
so much. Her and, what is his name? James Corden or whatever. God yells. Stop yelling. You have a microphone on. Good
That's
Lord.
Probably an unpopular opinion, but I really don't like that guy.
That's okay. Not everyone has to like everyone else. But Guy can sing. Guy has his own show, and many people like him. Good for you. Not my thing. Well, that's everybody on the show. So, if you guys think that there's somebody different up there than who we talked about, let us know. Tell us why. Give us the answers to the clues. Because I'm going to tell you, I feel like we're close, and I feel like we might be on the money for some of them. Joey Fatone, Donny Osmond.
Totally Joey Fatone.
Oh, 100% Joey Fatone. What a liar.
If that one turns out to be Joey Fatone, we'll have to, like, eat a hat or something. Because it's like, we're very sure, we're like 101% sure that it's Joey Fatone.
It has to be Joey Fatone. Because why else would he be... No, it's Joey Fatone.
It's Joey Fatone.
If it's not Joey Fatone, I'm not gonna do anything. It's him, but guys, seriously, watch The Masked Singer. Help us figure out who these people are. It's so much fun.
Yeah, I read this thing that was kind of, I kind of agreed with what he was saying. So it did come from a Korean show,
right?
And the Korean show apparently, the format's completely different.
Yes, it is.
And so apparently what they do is they'll do like a mini tournament, and then the winner of that tournament becomes the king, the king of the king of Masked Sing. And then they do another tournament, and the winner of that faces the last king.
Interesting.
So that person has the chance to kind of stay on for a while. And one thing that it does is like, everyone basically everyone that loses takes off their mask.
Yeah.
So when you do the tournament, and they do it in like a 2-day live show sort of thing, where basically over the course of the tournament in 2 days, basically you have like 8 people who have taken off their mask.
Right.
So like I
guess they're doing it a little different.
The criticism they have with this is basically, let's say, I don't know, the bee is the winner. Basically, we're going to spend 8 episodes knowing who the bee is. Like, everybody knows. After the initial, like, consensus is gathered, everybody knows.
Well, the internet.
So it kind of makes the mystery fade away real quickly.
Yeah.
So if they're not doing where they're cycling through people really quickly.
Right.
And another side effect that they said with that, which I kind of agreed with, was it allows them to get more famous people because they don't have to book them for the whole season.
True.
Because they only know that they have to be there for like 2 days. And then if they win, then they can come back, but it's only after the end of each thing, basically.
Like, they should really consider doing that.
Yeah.
They should. They should consider doing that because, I mean, the second week clues, well, the second time that they were on the show clues, very blatantly obvious.
Yeah, the second round of clues kind of felt like they give it away. And the things they say, they kind of put them on the spot to give another clue. And I feel like sometimes they give a lot away.
Did we talk about the alien?
We didn't talk about the alien.
Oh, we forgot to talk about the alien.
So Ken Jeong was being really creepy to the alien. He just kept being like, that is one sexy alien.
They're like, oh yeah. And then he was like, I'm happily married. But oh my God.
Yeah, I want to enter her spaceport.
That's what he said.
He didn't say that.
Oh. He didn't say
that.
But
guys, don't get away from Twitter. He didn't say that.
He didn't say that.
Don't
Please
try to
don't
dox
attack
him or
don't
run
try
him
to
out of
attack
town.
him. He actually seems like he's very nice. So, so the alien, I think it's one of the Jenner girls. I think it's either Kylie or Kendall. I'm leaning towards Kylie, because I feel like she thinks she's good at everything. I'm not trying to say that in a mean way, but I think she thinks
she's also like, she seems short.
Yeah.
Like the girl in the costume seems really short.
Yeah.
And like really petite.
Yeah, and she's short and petite.
She's young. She's like really young.
Absolutely. And then Kendall's the same way too. So I mean, it could be either of them. So the clues, they're in a famous family, Kardashians. Grew up in the public eye, the Kardashian show. Mini sisters.
Yeah, she said,
Kardashians.
I have lots of sisters or something like that.
It's like, just give it away. Why don't you? You know? People came out and said that she's 5'5". So I'm kind of like, 5'5". How tall is Kylie and Kendall?
I think Kylie is short. Like real short.
Is she?
Maybe I'm thinking of Kendall. I don't know them all apart. I'm sorry.
Kendall is the one that did the Coca-Cola commercial or Pepsi or whatever.
Kendall, then... Oh, yeah, Kendall. Then.
No, Kylie. Kylie's the one that did the Coca-Cola
the Pepsi
commercial. Pepsi, yes.
The one that got pulled.
Right.
Because people didn't
were like,
it.
This is stupid. Stop taking things and putting Pepsi in it.
Yeah.
Or whatever. Kendall is... I don't know how tall Kendall Jenner is. Let me look that up.
But I don't know them apart. So whichever one, I'm assuming it's the one that was in the Pepsi ad.
That would
she's
be Kylie.
Like really short and really little.
That's who I was assuming.
And all of the Kardashians kind of have this like ego thing where they think they're really cool. And she said like, I'm a quadruple threat.
Right. And it's like, wow, that's...
It's like, no, you're deluded.
Oh, and she got upset in the second package that they said that she wasn't a professional singer.
Yeah. She's like, I've recorded a bunch of stuff.
I'm so cool.
Yeah, it only costs money to record stuff.
It's totally Kendall. Yeah. Look at that body shape.
I think it's Kendall.
Look at the body shape of Kendall.
Jenner. Look at Kylie real quick.
Look up Kylie.
So is Kendall the one in the Pepsi commercial?
No, Kylie is.
They look the same.
They're sisters.
They all look the same.
They're sisters.
I can tell Chloe and Kim apart. They look different. Yeah.
They're sisters. That's why
it's one of the Jenners. One of the Jenner girls.
It's one of those Jenner girls.
One of the Kardashian/Jenner girls.
Yeah. They actually said the judges said Courtney, but
no,
I don't think so by any means.
Well, I don't know. Maybe it is. I'm getting them all confused.
Well, wait. Someone said on here that Kylie is pregnant.
He's pregnant.
I don't think that would have to be Kendall then.
Wouldn't that be funny if the alien started?
It's got to be Kendall. Look at her body shape.
Okay.
I think it's Kendall.
So is Kylie pregnant?
I have no idea. It's probably just a rumor. People
so
like to
look
do
at
rumors.
which one was the one on the Pepsi commercial.
It was Kylie.
Kylie Jenner. Okay.
Yeah, I know that for sure that was Kylie. But they're definitely like in the package. She's always got a swan behind her.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what does that swan represent? But I'm like, does it just represent being fancy? I don't know.
Yes.
There's a part of me that's like, look up Kendall Jenner.
What if it's like the Jenner family crest or
It
something
might
has like a
be.
swan on it?
Swan and Kendall Jenner. I'm just going to look it up right now.
You're just going to find people spoiling it. Articles of people talking about it. So if
Kendall Jenner, passage of gathering the swans on the Bazaar magazine. Ha ha! It's Kendall Jenner, you bitches!
I know what those words mean separately.
She did something for Bazaar magazine. Wore a naked swan dress to Cannes. She's a swan.
Oh,
It's Kendall Jenner.
It's Kendall Jenner.
I figured it out.
We cracked the
fools.
code.
Cracked the code through a one search on the internet.
Yep. So that's, again, reiterating.
Yeah.
That's the problem with this show.
Yeah. Internet.
Is if this had existed in the 90s,
yeah.
it would have been great because everybody would be on their dial-up trying to figure it out. But they wouldn't have Wikipedia and they wouldn't have all this.
Right.
It would be very difficult for them to figure it out.
The last package that she had a lot of stuff about psychics in it. Did you notice that? Like they were talking about there was a snake too. I'm sorry. There was snakes in both of them.
Yeah, there kept being snakes. That was kind of weird.
Yeah.
Maybe she's like a big fan. Maybe she's a snake charmer. Maybe.
Oh, she did a photo with a giant snake. Kendall
You mean like
Jenner.
Cassandra from Wayne's World?
Kendall Jenner got a giant snake tattoo. There you go, guys.
We figured it out.
It's flipping Kendall Jenner. Took 2 seconds.
I hope you appreciate us ruining
Everything.
all of the people on The Masked Singer. But we'll see if we're right.
Right. I mean, the judges thought LaToya Jackson. I think the girl is too young to be LaToya Jackson, and also, I mean, LaToya Jackson cannot sing well either.
If anything else, it's worth watching just to see how stupid some of their guesses are.
Right. Right.
One of them guessed Ruth Bader Ginsburg. That was one.
Yeah, that one was for Margaret Cho. And I was like, what?
I had to point out that Kim Jong referred to her as Chief Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg, where she is not the Chief Justice. Chief Justice John Roberts is the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court.
Get it right! Get it right!
Get it right, Kim Jong.
Get it right! So the crystal ball that they had, it had like a snake or some crap in it. Kylie Jenner wore pink pumps in a crystal ball bag.
Okay.
I don't know what to do now.
I don't know.
I still think it's Kendall.
Yeah, I still think it's...
I don't know. Like, it said alien could be psychic. Does she think she's psychic?
I mean, she is a quadruple threat.
Here we go. Kendall Jenner from stars who think they have psychic abilities. It's freaking Kendall Jenner, everybody. I went through all the clues on everything that she has, and it's Kendall Jenner. Merry Christmas. Happy Hanukkah.
I wish we could do like a case closed noise.
Debunked. Debunked. But yeah, it's Kendall. So that's all the people.
Yeah. So stay tuned to The Masked Singer on at 3 a.m. on WGN.
Is that what time it comes on?
No, I don't know. Remember, we have Hulu, so I don't know. It's on Fox at some time during the week.
Should I look it up?
No, because they don't pay us.
You're right.
You can find your own show.
It comes on 9 p.m. on January 30th. I don't know what day January 30th is, but it comes on that day.
It's a day.
It's a day. So thanks for listening to Nerdy 30s. If you liked what you heard and you want to tell us you like us, please get in contact. We love that stuff.
Make sure to go on the Nerdy 30s internet faces and tell us who you think are in the Masked Singers. Even though it'll be the same as what everyone else says, because the internet knows everything.
Everything is on the internet now. But guys, seriously, if you enjoyed this, rate us, like us, follow us. Be our friends. We enjoy you. Bye, guys.